See if I got that right. Hey everybody, this is Nikki with Sprague River Homestead. So we'll try this again. I had a little trouble logging in. I couldn't remember how to do it. So it took me a minute. Looks like a couple people are on. I don't know how many people are going to make it. We just kind of set this up kind of impromptu. I meant to do a Mailbag Monday film one to have it up for today, and I've done something to my back and can barely do anything. So chores are taking me an hour and a half to 2 hours. So I didn't really feel up to doing any videos. So that means there probably won't be one out tomorrow unless I can think of something that I can sit down and do. But we'll probably have one out Thursday and again on Saturday. So we'll just get started. If you have something you want to ask, just go ahead and type it in, and I will get to it as we go. A question I had this week: what pedigree program am I using? I've kind of talked about this a few times in a few different videos. I use Kintrax, and the newest version of Kintrax I think is still like 25 bucks, so it's pretty cheap. Uh, I got a notice saying that an older version of it, so if you have an older operating system, I guess it's free um on some computers. So it's pretty easy to use. It takes a little bit to set up, but you can use it for multi-species. So we actually use it to track our goats, and I keep track of medications for the dogs and all that kind of stuff. So if you're not using something, or if you're using a notebook like I used to use, you may want to check that out. It's good for everything. You just have to kind of set it up. You can set up a single database for each species. So like I have one for my llamas, another for the goats, another for the rabbits, and I actually do the rabbits by breed. So I've got one for Harlequins, one for Americans, one for Triantas, and then one for the oddballs. So, Jacinda, I hope I say that right. Hope your back is better soon. Thanks. Me too. It's better today than it was yesterday. And it was kind of a weird deal that we went into town for the first time in a week and a half. I delivered rabbits to my coal buyer, and then we went to do some grocery shopping. So we went to Walmart, Fred Meyer's, Coastal, and then Albertsons. And when we got out of the car at Albertsons, I felt just like a little pinch, and I thought, yeah, okay. Well, we got home and I got out of the car and opened the gate. No big deal. But by the time we drove down to the house and I got out of the car, I could barely walk. So I don't know what I did. We're thinking it's just a sciatica kind of thing and it'll pass. It's better now than it was yesterday. So it's coming along. Kathy Bull, hello, hello from Lorraine, Oregon. And I'll be honest, I don't know where Lorraine, Oregon is, but hello to you. Evans Family Homestead, hello from Arkansas. Homesteading with the Heberts, hello guys. I hope you feel better. Thank you. I hope it's going to be pretty much over. This is one of those times of years too that I want to be out doing something because there's so little day to do anything, and so it's been a little frustrating. But it's been a lot of couch time today and catching up on emails, which is really good for everybody who keeps sending me messages that I'm really bad about getting back to. So, um, okay, so the next question that I had, uh, and I can't remember who asked me this, and I tried to find it before this live stream started, is I think it was Robin that asked signs of a goat in heat. So what kind of signs do you see when a doe is in heat? Um, it kind of depends a little bit on the breed. So some breeds don't really let on a whole heck of a lot, but by and large the big things is, especially if you have a buck on the property, is you'll see them standing to where they can see the bucks, and they do a lot of yelling and something called tail flagging, and that's where they kind of flag their tail back and forth a whole lot while they're yelling, and they kind of snort and they make a bunch of noise. But our Nubians are super 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 noisy about it, and they'll yell and yell like all day from the minute Kanan lets him out of the barn until he locks him back in at night. The Nigerians aren't so bad. they do the tail flagging. The big thing with our Nigerians we've noticed is they get uber aggressive with each other, which is kind of strange because they're so little. The big goats don't do it as much, but the bigger girls, or the littler girls rather, get into a lot more headbutting wars, and you can kind of tell by the one that's picking on everybody else that she's usually the one in heat. So, but yeah, noise and the tail thing is usually the big signs with girls. Evan's family homestead. Do llamas do good in the cold? We have to. Yes, they take cold far better than they take heat. So I have had llamas since 1993, which is way, way back when llamas were first kind of a big deal. And actually kind of at the tail end of them being a big deal. So we bought our first 6 females and a male for like $23,000. And that was a good deal. That was somebody getting out of them at the time. They were going for, oh, anywhere from five to $10,000 a piece for females way back then. And within just a couple of years, you couldn't hardly give them away. We've always found that ours love snow, ice doesn't seem to matter to them. Rain doesn't seem to bother them a whole lot, but you get them into temperatures over about 80 degrees and too much humidity, and they tend to have more problems. Uh, so I grew up in Oregon. That's where we had the llamas. Just not used to the parasites out there and the change in the weather. Um, Something like Oregon, where it's a lot more temperate, they do a whole lot better. But yeah, the cold for sure. You'll see that they do way better in the winter than they do in the summer. Kathy Bull, maybe the vibration of the Vatican issues anyway. But I haven't had any for a while, so it was kind of weird, kind of unexpected. Um, oh, and my connection's unstable. We'll see. Oh, there it goes. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it'll be fine. Lorraine is near Eugene, about 3 hours away. Okay. I will admit I don't know exactly where it is. I'll have to look that up on a map. I had a girlfriend who lived in Eugene, so we've spent some time out that way. The homesteading pastor. Hello, everybody from South Carolina. Hello to you. Thanks for logging in with us. Evan's family. I was worried about them being in the cold. We rescued a male and a female. They were being starved. Unfortunately, that happens a lot. Um, if you need resources, you might reach out to the Southeast Llama Rescue. They're still in operation, is my understanding. We used to work with them a little bit when we were out there, initially in Tennessee and then in Mississippi, and they do a lot of rescue work. Unfortunately, in the South, there is a lot of llamas that need rescue, but yeah, they do far better in the cold. The only thing you might have trouble with is if they're pretty underweight. You might be a little bit more concerned, but other than that, they take cold like champs. They love it. Kathy, I've been binge watching your rabbit videos and getting ready to pull the trigger soon, but still haven't decided on a breed. I would like a breed that I could harvest and could sell. See what appeals to you. I'm never big on the idea of selling for pets. I do tell you that pretty straightforwardly. Um, Unfortunately, pet breeders aren't always worried about doing the right thing for rabbits. So I'm not a big fan of pets. But if you're going to sell for like meat breeders and that kind of stuff, that's totally cool. So many people interested in rare breeds. My demand for Americans is, I'm back to like 6 months out right now. Silver fox is another one that's really super popular right now. You just have to find the stock, and sometimes that's the hardest part of it. But there are a lot of really good breeds. I'm a big fan of the heritage breeds and the rare breeds, just because um, you got to breed them to save them, and there's just not enough people breeding them. Kathy, it's a ridiculously small town, just a stop sign. There's a lot of that. I mean, that's Sprague River's not much bigger. So I didn't know there was, I mean, it makes sense, but I didn't know there was a lot of really small towns around Eugene. But yeah, it makes sense. Let's see. We got them back healthy again. That's good. Llamas bounce back pretty fast depending on how old they are. I is your male, if you get this, is your male intact? Because I don't know that I would house them together if he's intact. If he's gelded, that's probably fine. But uh, thanks from Newcastle for your rabbit advice, Carol. You are very welcome, Carol. I do my best with the rabbit questions, and sometimes I don't always have the popular answer, but I do have an answer. Robin, hello, Robin. I was glad you could make it. I saw that you were off today. So, okay, let's see. Going back down my list, Sarah had asked for a first aid list for goats, and that's a video I'm working on. I thought I'd get it this week, and obviously with the back thing, I'm a little bit behind. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get it this week or not. But definitely in the next couple of weeks. So, Sarah, if you see this, I am working on it. I think you'd send me an email too or a Facebook message. I can't always keep track of where people contact me. So, RW, hello, everybody. Tuned in all the way from the Caribbean, Trinidad, and Tobago. Rabbit breeder trying my hands on some harlequins here. We are in a ton of interest in harlequins. I've had a bunch of people that are interested in them. I don't ship out of the country, which is always a big deal. But and right now, nothing shipping in or out of the United States. But my understanding is that some of the breeders in England or the UK are still shipping in and out. So if you're looking for some, that may be somebody to talk to. There is I was trying to think, what is their actual club name over there? I'll have to find it. It's the Harlequin. Off the top of my head, I can't remember, but there is an actual Harlequin club out of the UK. So, Anita, you made it. Considering I told you I wouldn't do another one till December, you're on time or early again. But yeah, Kathy, thanks for answering my question and for all the information on the videos. I've got pages of info written down. If you're like me, you write it down, you're gonna lose it anyway. At least I always do. But the videos are there forever, probably, so you're always welcome to go back in and watch them. Robin, looking forward to your goat video. Hope your back gets feeling better. Thank you. It's doing better. I've spent a lot of time on the couch and with some bear, so I'm doing all right. Little drugs will help. Keto Cutie, last stream you talked about a study about breeding does too young and affecting on breeding life. I couldn't find it. Can you post the link in the description when the stream is over? Somebody else asked me for this very same thing in a message, and I cannot find it. I've been digging through my links. It was something that I found online, but like a lot of studies with rabbits, it was kind of a down the rabbit hole kind of thing. I've noticed a lot of times when you go online and you put in that you're looking for something, you almost never find it. A lot of these university studies aren't tagged in such a way that any of the search engines can find them. If I can figure out what university I read it on, they're kind of honorary, and they're territorial, which is kind of a big thing. We've got two ganders here and three hens, and none of ours bother us, but it's kind of the breed more than anything. So I don't have any real good advice for you there, unfortunately. It's just kind of how they are. And I know it's kind of coming and going. Our internet has not been real good, but kind of thing. I that are so very nice. So I do have both. How hard is it to find stud service? Is that a common theme? It kind of depends on your area. Yeah, Robin said yes, it's buffering. Yeah, I'm waiting to see if it's gonna stop doing that or not. It's just kind of that time of year. It goes. So it's kind of what okay, let's see. Yeah, and it's just gonna keep coming